So where are we today with Bitcoin? Well, Bitcoin is the first of what is now regarded as a digital asset, the first totally new asset class in 170 years. Oil is the most recent new asset class before Bitcoin. Oil was discovered in the US in 1859, in the Middle East in 1908. Bitcoin is the first new asset class since then. It's also the best performing asset class in history. There's been substantial volatility as well, 6 market crashes so far, and many expect more in the future as Bitcoin continues to mature. But every day it looks more and more that Bitcoin is here to stay. Bitcoin technology is going to add nearly $2 trillion to the global economy by 2030, according to PwC. The Bank of England says blockchain could transform the entire global financial system. Spending on blockchain technology is projected to be nearly $15 billion by 2023. 90% of the world's banks are testing blockchain applications, and JP Morgan says it's going to save banks $120 billion a year. NASDAQ says the tech has got great promise in allowing capital markets to operate more efficiently with greater transparency and security. The stock exchanges in Australia, Switzerland, and Singapore have all taken steps to replace their settlement programs with blockchain tech. 90% of the members of the European Payments Council believe that blockchain technology will fundamentally change the industry by 2025. Billboard magazine says that the tech offers solutions to intractable problems like song rights monitoring, reliably distributing royalties and event tickets. Half of the nation's top universities are now offering courses and complete degrees in digital assets and blockchain engineering. Those blockchain engineers are now the highest paid software developers, earning as much as $200,000 a year. Hundreds of charities accept donations in Bitcoin. You can make political contributions in Bitcoin. We now have states that are letting you pay taxes in Bitcoin. The Office of the Comptroller of the Currency says national savings banks and federal savings associations can provide Bitcoin custody services that are making payments using stablecoins. In January of 2021, the OCC approved the first digital asset bank, Anchorage Digital Bank, and now Paxos National Trust has been approved. Goldman Sachs, Fidelity, BNY Mellon, other financial giants are all now providing custodian services for digital assets. Coinbase now has more account holders than Charles Schwab, TD Ameritrade, E-Trade, and Interactive Brokers combined. So yeah, we've seen some pretty massive investor activity over the past few years. According to Fidelity Digital Assets, more than half of US and European investment managers invest in digital assets. Endowments own Bitcoin, including Harvard, Yale, MIT, Stanford, Dartmouth, UNC. Fidelity Charitable, the largest grant maker in the US, received over $300 million in digital assets in 2021 through its donor-advised funds. Billionaires are buying digital assets as well. Paul Tudor Jones, Stanley Druckenmiller, Ricardo Pliego, Bill Miller, Mark Cuban, Elon Musk, Anthony Scaramucci. Corporations are buying digital assets as well. PayPal, Square, MicroStrategy, MassMutual, Tesla. Motley Fool put $5 million into Bitcoin. Fund managers are doing it too. Renaissance, Ruffer, Guggenheim, Bridgewater, BlackRock, and Skybridge. If you want to get a sense of just how important Bitcoin is to the current economic environment, the very first question that's now being asked on the IRS Form 1040, right after you put in your name and address and social security number, date of birth, the very first question the IRS asks is, do you own digital assets? The fact that the IRS put this on page 1, front and center of the 1040, tells you that the IRS thinks an awful lot of Americans own Bitcoin, and they're not reporting it on their taxes correctly. Here are some more indications of massive growth. Visa announced they want to provide a bridge between digital assets and their global network of 61 million merchants. MasterCard has weighed in as well, saying we're creating a safe and secure experience for customers and businesses in today's digital economy. PayPal lets its 300 million users buy Bitcoin, and you can use it to buy stuff on PayPal's platform with 24 million merchants. Abby Johnson, the CEO of Fidelity, says their goal is to make digitally native assets like Bitcoin more accessible to investors. Fidelity now offers Bitcoin as an investment option to its 401k retirement clients, and it's now making Bitcoin and Ethereum available to its retail clients. George Ball, the former chair of Prudential Securities, says digital assets are very attractive, and he thinks many people will be investing in this asset class. Rick Reeder, the chief investment officer of fixed income for BlackRock, the world's largest money manager, thinks Bitcoin could rival gold as a primary store of value. He said, quote, "I still think Bitcoin and crypto are durable assets." Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, says Bitcoin is here to stay. At Stanford University, Neil Ferguson, the professor of economic history, says the best investment coming out of the pandemic will be Bitcoin. Bank of New York Mellon, BNY, the nation's oldest bank, established by Alexander Hamilton, announced in 2021 that it's providing custody services for Bitcoin and other digital assets. Canada's securities regulator has approved Bitcoin ETFs. Amazon has launched a digital currency project in Mexico. JP Morgan says it's willing to accept Bitcoin in response to consumer demand. Uber is accepting Bitcoin in payment. TurboTax now gives tax refunds in Bitcoin and Ethereum. We've got Bitcoin-backed Visa cards. Consumers charged $2.5 billion to those cards and got Bitcoin back instead of cash back in just 3 months. MasterCard's not being left behind. They're offering consulting services to big businesses for digital assets. Financial firms like JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, and others, they're all building crypto investment offerings. They're also thinking about how they can use crypto and blockchain to rewire their systems to introduce new efficiencies into the market. And in the world of price predictions, Tom Fitzpatrick, the head of technical at Citibank, has said Bitcoin will hit $318,000. Guggenheim pegged the Bitcoin future price at $400,000. ARK Investment says it's going to hit $1 million. And the Association of Governing Boards of Universities and Colleges says, quote, "Cryptocurrency has already produced hundreds of millionaires, a number of billionaires, and may produce the world's first trillionaires in the next decade."